I just got back from Charlie Kirk's Turning Point, an amazing event. And my daughter was with me there. And I'll tell you what, Charlie Kirk's doing a phenomenal job. He had Tucker Carlson. He had the president called in. But, Laura Ingram, Dinesh D'Souza, just he could call in all these people because we, in our generation, love the next generation. There was thousands of young people that were there. And they're all ardent lovers of America. Charlie summarized his mission as I simply want my generation to love America again. What a beautiful mission. But I want you to see something, which to me is the reason why we fight. And we won't quit. This is the president today, which you won't hear anywhere on the COVID relief bill.
But it has almost nothing to do with COVID.
Nothing to do with COVID.
It contains $85.5 million for assistance to Cambodia, $134 million to Burma, $1.3 billion for the Egyptian military, which will go out and buy almost exclusively Russian military.
Millions of dollars.
$25 million for democracy and gender programs in Pakistan.
Gender programs in Pakistan.
$5 million to Belize, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Panama. $40 million for the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., which is not even open for business.
They already gave them $30 million.
For the Smithsonian, and an additional $154 million for the National Gallery of Art. Likewise, these facilities are essentially not open. $7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico, a provision to promote the breeding of fish in federal hatcheries, $3 million in poultry production technology, $2 million to research the impact of down trees, $566 million for construction projects at the FBI. The bill also allows stimulus checks for the family members of illegal aliens, allowing them to get up to $1,800 each. This is far more than the Americans are given. Despite all of this wasteful spending and much more, the $900 billion package provides hardworking taxpayers with only $600 each in relief payments. And not enough money is given to small businesses.
Come on.
And in particular restaurants, whose owners have suffered so grievously. They were only given a deduction for others to use in business their restaurant for 2 years. This 2-year period must be withdrawn, which will allow the owners to obtain financing and get their restaurants back in condition.
Come on.
Congress can terminate it at a much later date, but 2 years is not acceptable. It's not enough. Congress found plenty of money for foreign countries, lobbyists, and special interests, while sending the bare minimum to the American people who need it. It wasn't their fault. It was China's fault, not their fault.
Come on.
I am asking Congress to amend this bill and increase the ridiculously low $600 to $2,000 or $4,000 for a couple. I'm also asking Congress to immediately get rid of the wasteful and unnecessary items from this legislation and to send me a suitable bill, or else the next administration will have to deliver a COVID relief package, and maybe that administration will be me, and we will get it done.
Folks, listen to me. This is what I want you to hear. The reason why we are going to continue the battle for Trump is because this is what Republicans and Democrats will do to destroy America. You didn't hear any of that, did you? And I promise you, you're not getting this in your news. You're not going to see this. This should be like the lead story on Fox. You have to go to Rumble. You got to dig through YouTube to find it. And I'm saying something right now. I'm amazed at the number of Christians that are out of touch with what's happening in America. You realize that right now I'm getting asked to get on calls to debate excessive zeal of Christians for Trump, dangerous trends of patriotism for Christians who love their nation. A nationalist now has to apologize for loving their nation more than being a global citizen. With the Christian community, where the people that are prophetic and prophets that prophesied Trump's victory, rather than the church contending, like when the hour came to cross over into the promised land, Joshua and Caleb saying, this is our moment, this is our moment. You got 10 other spies or leaders in Israel calling the prophets to accountability for their misguided sense that Donald Trump would win. Almost like they're more focused on him losing and debating prophets than they are about contending together in fasting and prayer for a miracle, which God still holds out. And that window's closing, just as it did with Joshua and Caleb. Not because God changed his mind about what he ultimately wanted to do, but he made a judgment on the unwillingness of that generation of believers to cross over. He would give the next generation the victory he wanted to give that generation right then. I know you're with me on this. I know you agree with me on this. But I want you to share this brief video because our focus can't be on worrying about being too enthusiastic about this man's success. Because right now, I can't find anyone else like Donald Trump who will call out the left for their hypocrisy and the Republicans for their complicity in the ripping off of America and the destruction of its future. I would like to just get back to preaching the sermons I used to preach and focusing on that message. But it's kind of hard when the awakening that God seems to be sending is an awakening that is fusing together Christian biblical worldview and the survival of the nation from corrupt, increasingly demonically occupied institutions. Share this message with your friends, and I want you to know we're still in the battle, and it ain't over yet. Be talking to you soon. God bless. Thanks for joining me on this broadcast. And you know, we could stay connected together. If you subscribe, you're going to be updated on the next broadcast that comes out. And you could like this right here, and we could actually start to create a movement of connected people.